Hello everybody, welcome to my tutorial about how to lay out Barker cabinets with a warming drawer. I have a forum post and a warming drawer product code. We'll be looking at that. To find the specs, you can always find them on Google, so just open up a new browser page, type in the product code, and put in specs afterwards. That always just narrows it down just a little bit. AJ Madison is always really good. They always have lots of their specs on there. Pretty much the guys that have it together are the best. So if you can find it, try to open up on AJ Madison, and they should have the specs here. Let's take a look. So go down here, and then usually these tabs, you get descriptions, specs, features, info, and guides. And then just go to specs or installation instructions. Typically, both of these will have it. I'm opening up specs. All right, so we got ourselves a Viking 30-inch wide warming drawer. And this actual product number is the 530 stainless steel. So basically that's this guy right there. So it's available in a whole bunch of different finishes. And the finishes obviously don't make a difference. We just want to make sure we get the right dimensions for it. So we know it's a 30-inch wide part. Okay, so going down here, you're going to see dimensions and specs, basically product dimensions and door swings. Let's just keep scrolling down until we find one that has more of a cabinet cutout. This tells you the overall width of the part, which is fine. It's just technically ours would be this 29.5. That is important. We want to make sure the overall width is not wider than the actual cabinet we're ordering for it. And we will be using a warming drawer cabinet, which I'll get to here in just 1 minute. So here we go. Here's a nice one. Let's just kind of back it up just a little bit. So basically what we have here is we have our warming drawer, installation requirements, and access requirements. And you notice that there's a nice little cutout of a cabinet with some dimensions on it, and that's really helpful. First thing we want to look at is, let's try to figure out the width of the cabinet needed. Now most likely the cabinet width is going to be 30 inches, or the same width as your, what they sell it as. So if, Viking sells it as a 30-inch, they usually reduce it down to like 28 or 29.5, like we said earlier. And that'll allow it to be installed into a 30-inch wide cabinet. Viking's really good about using frameless cabinets. They're very high-end manufacturers, so they make pretty good products. All right, so let's scroll in here. Now, we need to find the opening width. So A is what we're looking for. Scroll down until you see right here, cutout width, A. So basically the opening width, cutout width, kind of the same thing. And we are going to be looking at a 28.25 opening width. Now, we just want to make sure that it's going to work with our cabinet. So let's pull up our web page. We know that 28.25 is what is needed. And I'm going to show you where this product is. Go to base cabinets on the website, and then click over on appliance cabinets. And then we have a warming drawer cabinet now. I just added this today, so that'll be good and helpful for you. And it's pretty simple. We have an opening width and an opening height. Those are the two most important things. The cabinet width, basically, we know that that's going to need to be around 30 inches. There we go, 30 inches. Height is going to be basically the opening height. Sorry, let's see, opening height right there. Opening height is equal to the cabinet height minus 5.5. And we'll get to that here in 1 second. Let's just work on the opening width. So opening width is cabinet width minus 1.5. Now keep in mind our cabinets are 3/4 inch thick plywood. So we got a 3/4 inch plywood on this side, another 3/4 inch thick plywood on this side. So before in those specs it called for a 28.25 opening width. Now obviously you want to keep them kind of standard. Now you could go 28.25, add an 1.5 inches, and we got 29.75. But let's just say you're stacking these cabinets. And let's just say you have this one stacked with a wall oven cabinets at a 30-inch wide. I try to keep it at 30 inches width. Adding another 1/4 inch of opening width is actually kind of a good thing. You want a little bit extra space in there for wiggle room. So I'm going to order a 30-inch wide cabinet for this, and that brings my opening width to 28.5, and that's perfectly fine for this this warming drawer. It gives me a little wiggle room. Now the height, let's take a look at the height there. Yeah, let's pull up those specs again. Height, it says here 9.25. So let's take 9.25, and we know that the opening height is the cabinet height minus 5 inches. So basically what you want to do is take 9.25 and add 5.5 inches to it. And that achieves a total cabinet height of 14.75. So let's take this down here, 14.75, find it on there, we're good to go. So basically what I did there, I took the opening height of 9.25 from the bottom of this top rail right here to the top of the deck, and then I added on 5.5 inches. And notice the reason how we calculated 5.5 on this is because we got 3/4 inch on top, and then 4 3/4 that is basically the toe kick and then the deck, the thickness of both. So 4 3/4 plus 3/4 is 5.5 inches. Okay, so that is correct. Now we got 14.75. Now the depth, obviously, on this one, and this is kind of a good little tutorial here. Again, with tall cabinet, pantry cabinets, and you've probably seen this in my other tutorials, is when you're doing the depth, right here, they require 23.5 inches of depth from the front of the cabinet case to the back wall, basically. They need a clear depth of 23.5. And basically what they're saying in there is, on our cabinets, we have what is called a nailer in the back. Let's see if I can open up a good picture for you. There we go. Here's a back view of the cabinet. Notice there's nailers going across here. You would use these nailers to install this cabinet to the wall studs, and they're 3/4 of an inch thick. So if you order this cabinet with a depth of 24 inches, and you got those 3/4 inch thick nailers in the back there, that's going to give you an opening depth from the front to the back of the face of the nailer of 23.25. Now let's check that against our specs. They're requiring 23.5. On tall cabinets, I always recommend people ordering like a cabinet stack. Obviously, this drawer, this thing's going to be stacked, or you're going to have like a wall oven stacked on top of this this drawer, warming drawer cabinet. And I would recommend ordering the depth at 26 inches because, and I'll show you that here in a minute when I get into the 3D views. But let's just say that we're going to do it at 26 inches, and I'll show you in a more 3D view here in a second. That gives us enough space in the interior to install that warming drawer. Now, you can order these things at 24. We could always go back there, but when you assemble this cabinet, do not add the nailers in the back. You're going to have to attach a cabinet to the top of it, and then basically attach that cabinet to the top to the wall, and that'll give you the proper way of installing. Okay, so basically moving on here, let's go down. So we're going to go 26. I'm going to change that back. We already know the opening height, the opening width, the opening height. We've already determined that. The opening depth. That's what all these dimensions right here are going to dictate. And the rest of it here is just the face of the wood cabinet types. If you're ordering cherry cabinets, you're going to want that. If the rest of your cherry cabinets are being pre-finished, you're going to want to add the clear coat option on there for you. It's only a few bucks. Toe kick, you always have to do a standard toe kick here. Basically, a standard toe kick is where it's recessed 3 inches. Or you can do a flush toe kick. We do not give the option to do no toe kick on this cabinet. If that is something you're looking for, you could always go to just a standard wall appliance case cabinet in the wall section. Okay, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So that's pretty much it for the tutorial on warming drawers. But let's do a little bonus here. And let's do a 30-inch wide by 14.75 tall cabinet. You see my little specs here. And I'm going to go over and I'm going to add in this cabinet here for me. So right here I had another tutorial that I was doing earlier, and I had a wall oven cabinet that I want to stack on top of a couple of drawer stacks. So in this case, I'm going to delete this drawer stack right down below. If you see what I'm doing here, I got a stack that ends up being a tall cabinet. I got a base cabinet running into the right side here. So let's add in. I'm going to add in the new cabinet that I just put on there, the simple warming drawer cabinet. There we go. I know my width is 30. That's fine. Height, what did I say for the height? Was it 14.75, I believe? 14.75 is the height. Depth 26. Now I got my wall oven cabinet right here above it. I'm going to take that down so that it's sitting right there on top. There we go. And then I got my wall two-door cabinet up above that. And what I want to do here is just make it. So that's pretty much it. I got 3 cabinets stacked on top of each other. Obviously, this big cabinet here, we get 3 adjustable shelves, so don't look at that. But basically, what we have here is a 92-inch tall cabinet from the floor to the top of the cabinet. We'd have crown molding up above it. I have a finished in panel on the right side, and then a base cabinet running into it. Okay, so I drew this in 3D here for you to kind of show you how this thing works. Now, obviously, you can do different applications here. You could have put a drawer-based cabinet underneath this thing, have the warming drawer up a little bit higher, and then a wall oven above that. So everything would be moved up a little bit, so the wall oven's more at waist level. But this is just kind of a real quick tutorial, so I don't want to get too far into it. The wall two-door cabinet up above it, pretty tall. You got a lot of storage space there. But one other thing I wanted to kind of go off on here is the fact that this is 26 inches deep, these cabinets in this area. And then on the in panel, the tall in panel here is going to be 26 5/8 deep from the back to the front. And that gives it a nice flush look, especially after your oven has been installed and then your warming drawer is installed as well. Notice this base cabinet right here is going to be at 24 inches deep from front to back. Your countertop, the reason I like doing a tall cabinet here at 26 inches deep is because your countertop is going to run and die off into the side of this finished in panel. So I highly recommend ordering your tall cabinets, your tall cabinet stack at 26 inches deep, and then ordering your finished in panel at 26 and 5/8 inches deep. And that's the reason. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this tutorial on the warming drawer. Again, if you needed to, a little bit of a bonus here, you can always, instead of ordering it with the toe kick, obviously, if you wanted to stack that, say, above like a drawer stack, go to wall cabinets here, and then go to appliance, and then you're going to see a few different options here, and most likely what you'd want is one of these guys. And basically this wall appliance cabinet, you could stack this on top of like a single drawer base cabinet, and then basically just follow the same steps that I did before. So opening height, opening width, and opening depth. Put those things all in there and you'd be good to go. Further questions, feel free to give us a call or email. Other than that, have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.